Hey, good morning, everybody. John here at Havoc Maker Studio and FNP Wargamers. So, big news obviously has been kind of lingering around for Warhammer 40,000 and the Orks. We knew that the Snagga Boys were coming out. We didn't know they were Snagga Boys initially because the only thing we had was about this time last year, actually more like the end of March/April, beginning of April last year, that time frame. When they did the Adepticon preview, or the Games Workshop's equivalent to the Adepticon preview, we got a brief glimpse sometime around that time of a new orc model. And so we're like, okay, we're going to get new orc boys, which we are. Yes, about time. Sorry, Eldar, Guardians, and Aspect Warriors. Your day will come. You're almost there. Just not there yet. But we know that orcs were coming, just didn't know when. And as usual, I think some people were kind of hoping, hey, Orktober, make Orktober great again, which Games Workshop has repeatedly failed to do over I don't know how many years. So and they're going to fail to do it this year because orcs are right around the corner. So I first want to go ahead and start off. We know that the Beast Snaga Orcs Army set, this launch box, is going to go pre-order this coming Saturday, which is the 17th of July. And I'm guessing doesn't look like there's a 2-week wait order or anything, so it should be released on the 24th. Now, in this box, as many of you already know, you're going to get a Zodgrog Wart Snaga, the legendary Brunt Herder. If you've seen the image before, and I know it's kind of hard to see, he's in the center of all those models. It's a wild-haired orc model with a man catcher, or I'm not even sure, a grot grabber sticky thingy. So I don't. Okay, cool, whatever. But you're gonna get the knob on a Smash a Squig. I'm gonna scroll back up. Squig Hog Boys, which is cavalry, a bomb squig, which that's what most people I think are excited about, and then 20 beast Snaga boys. So I mean, it's a pretty stacked box model wise, and you're also going to get your Orcs Codex or your Orc Data cards, and this overpriced special edition Orc Codex. What is so special about this Orc Codex? Let me tell you. It has a fancy wraparound full art cover. That's it. And that wraparound full art cover warrants a double pricing for the book. I believe before they used to be $80, but now that all the codexes have been going up to $50, I wouldn't be surprised if the special edition codex is now $100. Now keep in mind that this is just for this box. When the regular Orc Codex drops, we will likely see a actual limited edition codex. This one's just an exclusive one for this box, but a limited edition or a special edition, whatever they'll call it, that will come out alongside. So there's going to be very likely three Orc Codexes, and all of them are way overpriced. I personally, if you don't need this box, I would say wait until your Orc Codex comes out, buy the regular edition, save yourself money so you can invest in the models. Now, if you want this box, let's go through the pricing. So the official pricing on this is $199 USD. So you guys can figure it out wherever you are in the world. I know we got people from Japan, Germany, Canada, and the UK that watch the show. Actually, somebody in Mexico City. So you guys figure out your own exchange rate. But this is going to be $199 US, which sounds like a bit too much. And I would agree. And I'll tell you what is probably driving that price up unreasonably high is that extra codex. That's my personal opinion. But if we operate right now on that special edition or exclusive edition codex being double price, usually around $80, but I think it's going to be $100, but let's just go with 80. And that's what I did my original pricing on. That's $80 there. We're looking at, I think it's 25. I could be slightly wrong, but I think it's 25 now for the data cards. And let me see if I can, let me pull up a calculator and make sure I was right in my calculations here. So we got $80 for that, $25 for the data cards. I put the War Boss on the big mount at $45. That's about what the Primaris, what's that guy called? The Primaris Chaplain on bike was approximately. The 3 riders on the Squig Hogs at $60, which is about right. 35 for the special character. He's on a 40mm base, and those characters are usually 40K characters are around the $35 mark. He might be a couple dollars more or less. We're just kind of spitballing here. Then we got, I'm not going to count the Squig Bomb. That's just an extra exclusive model just for that box, I guess. But then we've got 20 of those Snag-a-Boys. And if those are multi-part plastic kits, and that's what I'm going to operate on, those, break those up into 2 10-man groups. That's about, it should be around $50, because that's tends to be what they're aiming for on the cost of the 10-man squads, around $50 to $60. I'm going to put it at 50, so that's another $100. Did I get all those? Did I get everybody? I think I did. Let's double check. So 80 there, 25, another 100, 45, 35, and 60, $345. So let's just bounce it up to 350. Let's say 350 for this box. So 350, that's about almost a 30% value. You're saving about 30% by buying this box. It's about $350. You're going to get it for $200. It's about 30% off, which is pretty typical for these type of boxes. I think that value should come down more because that book is way overpriced. At the very most, those special edition books should maybe have a 25% markup, not 50 or not doubling the price. I could easily see that those books, if it's normally say $40, make it 60, but 80 or 100, it's a little bit out there. Anyways, this box is going to go on pre-order this Saturday, and I imagine that the entire Ork army or everything else that's going to come out will follow in the coming weeks. So let's just move on. Let's keep up with this Ork news. So today we got a brand new article that's going to kind of turn some heads, and I think it's going to have some people thinking incorrectly, just because I've seen and read and actually been the victim of and have victimized people getting rules wrong, and it's very easy. So the WA that they can do is still only once per game that you can do. But they've got it broken up into the regular WA and then the speed WA. So you can only do one unless you're gas call, which you can do 2. And you do this, let's read here. I'm going to read this out verbatim so you guys can understand, because I know some of you are driving and listening. So stage 1 lasts until the start of your next command phase. Then stage 2 kicks in, which lasts until the beginning of your subsequent command phase. So as far as I'm understanding, and I could be wrong, let me know in the comments below. Stage 1, you basically kick it off in your command phase, and then until the start of your next command phase. So you're going to go through your full turn, your opponent is going to go through their turn, and when it comes back to you be able to go again, then since that's the start of your command phase, stage 1 ends. It's done. And then stage 2 kicks off. And then that lasts until the following command phase. This is a little bit better than the previous WA, mainly because it lasts a little longer. It's a little diluted, and we'll get into that. But I think right now, it might not be as impactful as in the original WAs, but the fact that you can now draw it out over 2 game turns is a lot better. Now, the regular WA basically allows core and Ork characters to declare a charge even if they advanced. Awesome. And those add 1 to the attacks characteristics of Ork models from your army. Really awesome. Orks already get lots and lots of attacks, and since they're going up to, like, I think basic orc boys are going up to toughness 5, and they're going to be having the 2 attacks, plus I think they get an extra attack from choppas. They're going to be dishing out a lot of attacks, and close combat is really where they excel. They get lots of shooting attacks, but their ballista skill is garbage. Now, that's just stage 1. Now, stage 2, a little diluted, but you get to add in another attack to your orc models in your army. So that bonus of getting multiple attacks keeps going on. So that really, this, as you guys, it's easy to kind of see there, is that the initial wall is to get you there to be able to go faster and then get stuck in, and then you just stay stuck in. That's why you have this going on. I think it's so far so good. Now the speed wall is the next one, and this is a little different, but it's still along the same lines. So this one is there's no penalty for to hit rolls for firing assault weapons in the same turn that you advance. Normally there is. And each time orc vehicles or bikers from your army shoots a DACA weapon, that means that the weapon's going to have a DACA special rule or keyword. You get to make an additional attack with that weapon. Awesome. That's really good for a shooty orc army. Excuse me. And then each time a model in an orc vehicle or orc biker unit from your army makes a range attack, you get an additional -1 added or subtracted from armor pen, or added to armor pen, however you want to word that. So that makes them a lot more lethal. And then stage 2, give them some DACA. Each time a model, an orc vehicle or biker, you can improve. You just keep that improved armor penetration for another turn. So you lose out on the extra shooting and the ability to no penalties for advancing with assault weapons and shooting, but you still keep that armor pen. And armor pen is a damn good thing. I mean, that's really one of the best things about this game, and it really helps shred through stuff like Space Marines. I mean, I don't think people think, oh, -1, that's no big deal. Subtracting 1 from a die is huge. I mean, for Space Marine, that goes from being, about a 70% chance, let me do math here, almost a 70% chance of success to 50% or less, depending on what other armor pen those weapons have. So just that 1 point is huge. That's like 17% taken away from you, or 1 symbol off the die. And as I talked about earlier, there is a third type of wall, but it's only for Ghazghkull Thraka. If you're rocking Ghazghkull Thraka, you get to use both of those walls when you initiate it. That's expected of the biggest, baddest orc out there. All right, so we're going to move on. We're still talking about orcs. We already know that Kill Team is coming out, but I wanted to talk very briefly about Kill Team, because I know a lot of people are going to be excited about that Kill Team Octarius box. Some people I think a small group for the actual Kill Team game, because they like the Kill Team. That's a niche of a niche. And then I think the hardcore 40K fans for Deathcore Creek and the Orks are going to be wanting to snag up the box because they don't want to miss out on these models. So as they talked about, I think most people kind of missed this, but I wanted to be able to clarify the 2 sets of orc models or not the 2 sets of orc models, but the orc models and the Deathcore Creek models are not exclusive to the box. Sometime after this box is launched, they will be coming out in 2 separate boxes. So I imagine these are probably going to be like $60 boxes. Knowing Games Workshop, I would say 60, 50 at the least amount, probably $60 for these 2 10-man boxes of the Orc Commandos and the Deathcore Creek Veterans, which still is pretty good, especially in the realm of anybody that's concerned about missing out on this, because Games Workshop has a horrible track record of, I forget what the FOMA, I think it's fear of missing out. I think that's what that stands for, FOMO, with these boxes like the Indominus box and the Dominion box. But you don't have to. because it's going to be coming out. And it's cheaper, yes, to buy this box if you want that terrain, if you want those models right away. You actually come out on top by buying that box. But if you just care about the Orks or the Deathcore Krieg, if that's all you care about, you can wait, and you're really not going to miss out. But I think this is a good idea because it's really hitting the scalpers in the pockets, and I get it. Scalpers, you got to do your grift, you got to make your money somehow. It's shame on you, really, kind of at the end of the day, because you're charging double for some boxes. I mean, I remember when the Dominus came out, I was what, a $210 box, and people were selling for $400 or $500. I mean, kudos for making your money, but I mean that's absolutely crazy. That's like people with PlayStation 5s right now. We've seen PlayStation 5s for $1,500, and it's like that's 3 times over the price. Why would I'll just wait. I don't need a PlayStation 5, just like I don't need Deathcore Krieg or these new Orks. Would I want to have the models? Sure, but I'm not going to pay double, triple, quadruple the price for some plastic toy soldiers. It's just not worth it. Just wait, guys. That's all I can say. So the last thing I want to leave off on is I was speculating with somebody the other day, and I actually think we were doing it online, not only during our show last Saturday covering Kill Team Octarius, but during a couple of my paint streams on Twitch. So it does look like they have revised a rule. So the normal 40K rules that were included in the last edition of Kill Team, which was a little bit of 7th and a little bit of 8th edition kind of mixed up, which I was like, I don't want to play this because it takes too long to play a game. It looks like they've kind of streamlined it along the lines of Warcry and Underworlds. So we don't know exactly what those rules are, but we do know that they are going to have their own, its own centered rule set. So what that likely means is that there's probably going to be 2 sets of dice in there. One's going to be proprietary with probably, let's just say, 10-sider symbol or 10-sider dice with a variety of different symbols like hits and misses and criticals and critical failures on it. And then probably some 6-sided dice. And it's going to be using dice pools. And you have to get certain combinations of these dice. And let's say I get 6, maybe I rolled 10 dice and I get 6 hits and 4 or 3 misses and a critical failure. So maybe that critical failure takes away one of my successes. So I'm left with 5. And then you get to roll, let's say, your pool of 5 dice for defense. Very much along the lines of, say, Marvel Crisis Protocol, which uses a same system of rolling a number of dice for an attack versus a number of dice for defense. And then if you have any special abilities to modify, then you can modify those dice. And then you look at the results, subtract the difference, and apply wounds or status effects and whatnot. So that's good overall. I think that's definitely good overall. It looks like they'll be changing the stats. Like if you're familiar, I think they're going to still keep things like weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, and toughness, but they're going to have different symbols for it. That's just something the Games Workshop will want to do. I think in Warcry they give like they've got like a flexing arm as like the strength characteristic, and there's I think a torso for the toughness. It's just a revise, but it's all comes down to the same values. We're still probably very likely going to be using 6-sided dice. And it is going to be centered around Octarius, or at least the Octarius system, which is actually kind of cool. What I think is going to be really nice is that there's alternating activations, which is one of the biggest downfalls right now of Kill Team, is it can be very lopsided if when you're playing that. Just like playing Warhammer 40,000, you have to weather a full turn of somebody's army tearing into you, and before you can retaliate. And I think this is actually alternating activations is actually really cool. I think Warhammer 40,000. I think one thing that they could do better is follow some rules according like the Apocalypse rule set, where both of you initiate your actions. You go through your entire move, shoot, charge phase. They go through their move, shoot, charge phase, or no, you have a mutual charge phase, and you after at the end of that you pull up all your results, and then you remove your models at the same time, and then you start again. Because I mean, in reality, it's not. I'm shooting. Don't shoot. I'm shooting now. In reality, that back and forth, the shooting, the close combat, everything is happening simultaneous, and I think that is one slight downfall for Warhammer 40,000. Now, the alternating activations will be good because this also means we'll probably have some smaller team sizes. You won't be seeing 20-man Imperial Guard units coming for a kill team and such. You still might, but unlikely. I think the alternating activation is a really good idea on a skirmish level, though. Not for Warhammer 40,000. I think that can get bogged down pretty heavily outside of the close combat phase. So these are some changes that are coming. Customization, they say in-depth customization. I question that. I question that. I'm going to want to see more about that. I think that's more of a modeling thing than an actual in-game thing, but we'll see. At any rate, right now, Kill Team is looking pretty good. Is it going to be, is it going to be the Warhammer 40,000 or Age of Sigmar killer? No. Generally, the skirmish games, I mean, people thought that Underworlds and Kill Team before and Warcry were going to be the dominant game. And people generally don't play Warhammer 40,000 or Age of Sigmar for the skirmish level games. Now, I'm not saying that those players don't exist, but the skirmish level players, the Blood Bowl players, the Horus Heresy players, they're the niche of the niche. Warhammer 40,000 is top dog. More people play Warhammer 40,000 than any of these other games. Age of Sigmar, there's more people playing that game than any of the smaller specialist games. And I know Horus Heresy, the Warhammer 30,000 is not necessarily a specialist game, but in reality it is. It really is. So is this going to create a big upheaval? No. Is this going to threaten other games like Marvel Crisis Protocol or Malifaux? No. We'll see a nice resurgence for Kill Team, but then it'll die off because it just doesn't have the staying power. It really doesn't. So I'm excited, though. We're going to be getting some amazing new Ork models, some Deathcore Krieg finally. I think that I like the idea that we're finally getting some new Imperial Guard models. I'm really sorry, Eldar players. I know that hurts really bad. And Primaris Marine players, I know it sucks that you are not getting a Primaris model. It's a great injustice. I'm deeply offended for you that we aren't getting a new Primaris Marine. I'm really upset. I mean, I haven't had a new Primaris model in months, and I think that's BS. So, all kidding aside, let me know what you guys think about Kill Team. Let me know about what you think about Orks. Am I on the money here? Am I on point about these ridiculously overpriced exclusive codexes? I think I really don't like those. There's nothing fancy. Now, if they had like gold leaf edging and like the little more like multiple tassels inside and came with some extra data cards or maybe unit cards, that sort of thing, I would be excited. But a full art cover, no, that's garbage. Not for $80 or $100, however much it's going to be. But you know what? If you're a super collector, then you are already super excited about it, and I'm not going to take that away from you. I hope you get your book. And let me know, anyways, down in the comments what you guys think. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're here on Havoc Maker Studio, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you're on FNP Wargamers, jump over here. And if you're here, jump over to FNP Wargamers. That link is down in the description below. You guys have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.